I am Mabuto Nicholas Mabena. I'm joined by Comrade Ian Beddowes. We just witnessed the elections in Britain. Comrade Ian Beddowes is born in Britain. We want to discuss these elections, what they mean to us. Welcome, Comrade Beddowes. How are you, Comrade Beddowes?
Thank you very much, and welcome and greetings to all who are listening in and watching this video.
What does the outcome of these results mean? The defeat of the Conservative Party by the Labour Party. Is this the old Labour Party that we knew, or this is a totally different new Labour Party?
Well, it would be wrong to say the Labour Party is totally different, but it is very different. The British intelligence, MI5, the internal intelligence, did a very good job at the last election on blocking the Labour leader at that time, Jeremy Corbyn. They did a very good job. They controlled the media. They made people think that Jeremy Corbyn was some mad kind of person, because at least in a small way, Jeremy Corbyn was going to challenge monopoly capital in Britain and the neoliberal agenda and US domination of Britain. So after the election, and by the way, in total number of votes, the last election, under Jeremy Corbyn, the Labour Party won more actual votes than it did at this election, where it's got a big majority. The reason why the Conservative Party did so badly is because a lot of people who are fed up voted either Liberal Democrat, and the Liberal Democrats have got the biggest number of seats they've had for 100 years. And then secondly, the right wing of the Conservative Party, many of them voted for Reform UK. And we have to face it that those who voted for Reform UK, many of them did it because they didn't like Rishi Sunak being an Indian. So those two groups took a very large vote away from the Conservatives, and therefore Labour was able to come in with a very big majority.
What does the Labour?
But the political direction of this Labour Party under Keir Starmer is not good.
My question was going to be, what can we expect from the Labour government in relation to Palestine and Ukraine? What is its attitude?
On the question of Palestine, Keir Starmer is at least as bad, if not worse, than Rishi Sunak. Although, having said that, it looks like he may be softening a bit. He's something of an opportunist, so he may have softened, but he was strongly supporting Israel. People like Jeremy Corbyn have been expelled from the Labour Party for being pro-Palestine, and they've been called anti-Semitic for being pro-Palestine. In fact, what's really alarming is that some anti-Zionist Jewish members of the Labour Party have also been expelled. That's how bad the Zionist lobby is. Anti-Zionist Jews have been expelled from the Labour Party. I'm in touch with a group called Jews for Labour, and yes, they're anti-Zionist. So it's been very serious. However, even the USA, which dictates foreign policy to Britain, has now backed away to some degree from the Israeli position.
Mhm.
So, in fact, Britain has had no independent foreign policy for some years. They just do what they're told to by the USA. So we'll see what will happen now.
What is their attitude to Ukraine-Russia conflict? The Labour Party?
It's just the same as all the other imperialists.
Mhm.
And even the Communist Party of Britain has taken the same view as other Euro-communists. Oh, this is an anti-imperialist war, which is why most communist parties outside of Europe have now broken their links or have got a strange relationship with many of the European communist parties, because at the end of the day, the European communist parties, as they are now, not as they used to be, have been softened by the neoliberal agenda, and they're sort of frightened that their economies will collapse, which they are likely to happen. Already there's some collapse in the German economy. So the position, there's very few people in Britain who are taking a pro-Russian stance. Two groups that I know are, but we still have the New Communist Party of Britain, we still have the Communist Party of Britain, Marxist-Leninist, and there's also a group within the Labour Party called Socialist Correspondent. They issue a paper called Socialist Correspondent, who take a pro-Russian position. But generally in Britain, the pro-Ukrainian and at the end of the day, pro-Nazi propaganda has been very great. We have to understand that the British media has a reputation which they don't deserve for being objective. They're very far from being objective. So British people believe their media is objective when it's very far from that. And that's created a huge problem in Britain.
Okay, Comrade Commissar, just to keep
in terms of people understanding what's happening in the rest of the world.
Yes, just to keep this video short, Comrade Commissar, I saw on social media Zimbabweans that are in Britain posting on social media that they voted for Labour Party. Any advice for them? And also, are we likely to see some changes with respect to taking the migrants in the UK to Rwanda? Do we think there's going to be a change in that policy direction? Firstly, Zimbabweans voting for the Labour Party, I saw them celebrating advice.
Well, I think that voting for Labour is better for them from their own personal point of view. Internationally, it makes no difference. But in terms of immigrants in Britain, it is a better choice. I don't expect to see many serious reforms, but obviously what is happening is that the deep state in Britain has recognized that the Conservatives have really, really lost considerable support among the population as a whole, because there's growing poverty, things are getting expensive, the economy is in tatters because Britain was deindustrialized from the time of Margaret Thatcher. From 1979 was deindustrialization. All that is coming back to hit them. So we would have preferred the independents, and there are 8 independents who've been elected, including Jeremy Corbyn. We would have liked to have seen the other major independent and critic of the of the government and of the Labour Party, George Galloway, just who won a seat in the by-election, was narrowly defeated.
Okay.
So we would have liked to have seen those independents do better. But definitely, given the choices that were there, it's the victory of the Labour Party is just marginally better for the working class in their everyday lives.
No, thanks, Comrade Ian Beddowes, the Commissar of the Zimbabwe Communist Party. Will continue discussing this question, drawing lessons. There are also elections happening in France. Next week, we'll invite him again, Comrade Beddowes, to talk about the elections in France. Please write your comments in the comment section. I know that most of you in the UK participated in these elections. What do they mean? Please write in the comment section. Otherwise, goodbye. Thank you, Comrade Commissar. Goodbye.